Okay, I'm going to be working through the 9.1 to 9.2 quiz review. This first one gives me a graph, and it wants me to write the equations of parabola in factor form. So the first thing I need to do is I need to find my y-intercepts. This is -7, and this one is 2. And then I need to find a point on my graph. I'm going to find this point right here. It's my y-intercept. This is 0, -7. So remember, my factor form is y equals a times x minus p times x minus q. And my intercepts are p and q. And this point is going to be my x and y. So I'm going to have -7 equals a. That's what I'm solving for. And instead of x, I'm going to write 0. And then I have minus, my p-value is -7. 0 again for my x, minus my q value, which I have here is 2. Then I want to go ahead and solve for a. So I have -7 equals a. 0 minus -7 is the same thing as 0 plus 7. So that is 7. And then over here I have 0 minus 2, which is going to give me -2. I'm going to multiply these two together. So I have -7 on the left, and then 7 times -2 gives me -14 times a. Then I want to go ahead and divide both sides by -14. I get a equals 1/2. So then I just want to plug back into my equation. When I plug back in, I want to plug back in a, p, and q. So I have y equals 1/2, x minus -7, x minus 2. I don't like the double negative, so I'm going to turn that into a positive for my final answer. Okay, the next one wants me to solve the equation. I want to turn this into standard form, so I'm going to subtract 8g on both sides. Then I'm going to go ahead and factor, so I'm looking for what multiplies to 16 and adds to -8. That is -4 and -4. So I split this up into two terms. And then I want to use my zero product property to solve. So I'm going to have g minus 4 equals 0. And I could do it for my other term, except it's also g minus 0, so I'm not going to solve that. Then I want to add 4 to both sides. I get g equals 4. My next one says a water balloon is thrown from a height of 30 feet. The balloon's height, h of t in feet, after t seconds can be modeled by this equation. H of t equals -5t squared plus 5t plus 30. After how many seconds does the water balloon hit the ground? Round any answers to the nearest tenth of a second if necessary. So, I want to set this equal to 0. So I have -5t squared plus 5t plus 30. I want to go ahead and factor out my GCF, which I'm going to make -5 because I like working with positive quadratics. So everything gets divided by -5. That gets me 0 equals t squared minus t minus 6. Then I want to factor, so I want to see what multiplies to -6 and adds to -1. That is -3 and +2. So I want to use the zero product property to set these equal to 0. I get t equals 3, and then over here I get t equals -2. I'm talking about time. Time is always positive, so my answer here is just 3. Oh, and I should probably say seconds. Number 4 wants me to find the zeros of this function. So what I do is I set it equal to 0. Then I want to use the zero product property to set each individual term equal to 0. Or expression, I mean. Then I add 7 to both sides. I get x equals 7. Over here I subtract 5 from both sides. I get x equals -5. This one wants me to solve the equation. Again, I'm going to use the zero product property, but see this sneaky h right there? I'm going to set that equal to 0 too. So on this first one, I'm already done. I have h equals a number. Second one, I want to add 12 to both sides. I get h equals 12. Over here, I subtract 16 on both sides. I get 8h equals negative 16. Then I want to divide both sides by 8. I get h equals negative 2. So on this one, I have 3 answers. Be careful because of that sneaky h. On the last one, it wants me to find my x-intercepts of this. So again, I just need a factor. I'm looking for what multiplies to 9 and adds to 10. That is going to be 9 and 10. Or 9 and 1, I mean. So then I take these and I set them equal to 0 using the 0 product property. Here I subtract 9, I get x equals negative 9. And then same thing over here, I subtract 1, I get x equals negative 1.